Greetings all. Welcome to Aquarian Diary. I'm your host, John Irving. It is May 13th, 2023. Today I will explore a topic I have not addressed directly here before. As usual, I will provide links to any referenced materials in the episode description. Over a year ago, I published an episode titled Lies. In it, I made the case that being excessively permissive about lying was harmful to society. Historically, people that compulsively lied were shunned or ostracized for good reason. Left unchecked, such antisocial behavior can pose very serious risks to society. Yet today, we have very significant political movements and industries that do exactly this every single day. Lying has become normalized or socially acceptable in ways it simply wasn't in the past. To be clear, this includes disinformation, misinformation, and propaganda. In my episode on lies, which I published back in April of 2022, I concluded that we needed to reaffirm that lying is socially unacceptable, that we should call out, shun, or ostracize those who are serial liars, that we need to reestablish and reinforce that social norm. Congressman George Santos, a high-profile pathological liar, is an extreme case in point. Given his track record, the fact that he was even elected in the first place is alarming. Santos has recently been charged with 13 federal crimes, including fraud and money laundering. According to Washington Post fact-checkers, the 45th President of the United States made over 30,000 false or misleading claims during just his 4 years in office. He now also faces justice on numerous fronts. The fact that a significant contingent of his fervent base are members of Christian religious organizations is particularly appallingly hypocritical and very disturbing. This is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. Again, society needs to deeply reflect on how people of such obviously poor moral character can even be considered for positions such as those they have attained. It simply should not happen. In a recent segment of Background Briefing, Dr. Bandy Lee described the phenomenon of strongmen authoritarian leaders and their followers who are willfully oblivious to facts, reason, and evidence as a social mental health pathology. It is symptomatic of a serious societal level mental health disorder, in other words. Dr. Lee, who has extremely impressive credentials, stated that, and I paraphrase here, such pathologies spread like a virus does, and that by not containing it, we are exposing the public to a, quote, extreme public health threat, end quote. Note the use of the word extreme here. That is a direct quote from her. Referring to followers of the former president, she stated, quote, one of the greatest needs of mental pathology is to be told that their desired reality is true, not actual reality, end quote. In other words, masses of people are detached from reality, if not clinically delusional, and their pathologies are being deliberately enabled, exploited, and amplified. In effect, she argues we have been enduring a widespread public health emergency akin to a mind virus, and that almost nothing has been done about it. That not holding people accountable for their lies, criminal activity, and distortions of reality has exacerbated the crisis and allowed it to spread just as a virulent transmissible disease would. Consider this hypothetical scenario. Imagine if, during the recent pandemic, nobody had taken appropriate health measures such as social distancing or masking. That would have been egregiously irresponsible and dangerous, and the outcome would have been far worse than it was. Dr. Lee stated that Trump was much more dangerous now than he was in 2015. By not holding him accountable and not accurately identifying the phenomenon as a public mental health emergency, we allowed the contagion to spread unchecked, in other words. It's analogous to the scenario of having let the recent pandemic run unabated. As a devotee of truth, I find this plague of lies and deceit deeply offensive and troubling. As a matter of fact, I will go so far as to state that this is the defining issue of our times. I hope people can see that the roots of our greatest threats are not material. Thoughts, beliefs, and lies are not material. You can't touch, taste, smell, feel, or even see them. Yet they clearly have profoundly consequential implications. Implications that can alter the destiny of our planet. This is why I published sets of intentions here, and I urge people to recite them in their spiritual practice. Doing so is being of service to humanity. They are very short. You will find a link to those in the episode description. Humanity is generally clueless about the power of beliefs and thoughts. I have expressed this many, many times on my channel. Frankly, I am not aware of anyone who addresses this as directly and consistently as I do. Furthermore, there are forces that do not want us to awaken to our power. So now that I have set the stage that I intended to, I can get into what I really want to address here today. I first needed to make the case for how epic and significant the crisis of truth is, that it has very tangible and dramatic implications for our own experience and the destiny of humanity. Lies, lying, and liars are clearly undesirable, consequential, and dangerous if not confronted. Yet there is another dimension to this phenomenon that is rarely addressed. The other dimension of this is withholding or not speaking the truth. How many people are aware of lies or malfeasance, yet say nothing about it? How many people know secrets that they do not share with others? There must be innumerable examples of this. Holding the deceivers and manipulators accountable is highly unlikely without credible evidence. This is what allows the lying mind virus to spread, to become more malignant, and undermine our security, social order, prosperity, and well-being. If the top of the pyramid consists of the demagogues, the next level the accomplices, then the base of it consists of those who withhold important truth. They may not be as complicit as the co-conspirators, but they are culpable because they have information that could effectively immunize the population against the existential threat that demagogues and their accomplices pose. They also likely know that what they are doing or not doing or withholding is unethical. In this case, withholding the truth causes incalculable harm to society, and there are far more people doing that than there are actual demagogues. To me, this is quite alarming. We tend to think that we only have to combat and counteract the prominent, malfeasant, and criminal figures in society, or their direct accomplices, or perhaps even the dark money groups who could potentially be disclosed in time. Yet, in fact, there is a much bigger and more pervasive problem underlying all of this. It is those who are complicit by omission, those who withhold or block the expression of truth. Withholding the truth is, in fact, an act of deception. I can even make a pretty compelling case that it is also an act of aggression. Deception is manipulation, and as we know, deception and manipulation are tactics the dark side commonly employs. We naturally feel guilt or remorse when we do not share important information with others, information that we know might beneficially alter someone else's perception or fate in meaningful ways. Or conversely, when we do things that block or limit other people, which is a form of omission. On a deep level, we know that doing this is wrong and unethical, and that we will regret it. There is a good reason for that. It is because, by doing so, we are interfering with or inhibiting their free will. Again, the cardinal rule applies. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I am not suggesting we indiscriminately or callously reveal that which would cause harm. That which serves no purpose is petty, superficial, motivated by grievance, resentment, fear, or ego. A healthy disdain for such base motivations and some objective self-reflection will keep us in check in this regard. I do argue, however, for honesty with integrity, that omitting certain truths is unethical, immoral, and must stop. As we transition into the age of Aquarius, the time for important or material omissions and withholding truth is ending. When this occurs, our entire reality will fundamentally, substantially, and dramatically alter. It will mark a critical turning point or milestone in the trajectory of human evolution. I can assure you that we will not be allowed to exercise our full power or potential until we stop omitting, obfuscating, or withholding truth for petty, selfish, narcissistic, possessive, self-aggrandizing, infantile, or primitive reasons. The lesson humanity is learning from the outrageous drama we have been experiencing in recent years is that we must protect society from lies, manipulation, and deception, that they pose very real and existential risks to society and our planet, that they cannot be allowed to run rampant and unchecked, that not confronting those who promote or profit from them poses as great a threat to our security as any other. The most powerful nation on earth and the most important democracy our world has ever known was almost lost due to careless negligence in this respect. The implications could not be more profound. All of this affirms my personal disdain for lies, deceit, disinformation, and propaganda, and those that promulgate or endorse them tacitly or through negligence, willful ignorance, complacency, indifference, or careless and irresponsible laziness. As I have demonstrated, we simply must inoculate ourselves against these dangerous contagions. I therefore offer you intention number 6. I set my intention, and I pray that all shall be truth tellers, and that all shall know the truth. So be it. Amen. Please see my sets of intentions that you can incorporate into your spiritual practice. Some of you may be interested in my energetic protection and clearing classes that also addresses karmic issues. I'll put links to all of this in the episode description, including a link if you're interested in a reading from me. You can support me by liking my videos, sharing, commenting helps as well. I look forward to your comments. Thanks for everything. Take care. All the best. And I'm looking forward to talking with you again soon. Bye for now.